So digital transformation is nothing new in the industry, right? It has been happening for, let's say, around 5 to 6 years, right? And this thing has started taking a lot of pace now, right? So that pace is something that digital transformation leaders now have to handle, right? And if you really see the way things are moving very fast in the industry, right? The technology advances that are coming, right? So to tackle all that and to leverage that to enhance your businesses is something that digital leaders have to understand. So what it means for them, they have to actually be aware of the digital trends in the industry. Secondly, they'll have to be innovative, right? They cannot just be reliant on technology to take care, right? What are the offerings that technology has? Be creative and utilize that for the business enhancements. And third, they'll have to be very agile, right? So what I mean by that, competitions are always knocking at the door, right, in corporates. And that's the reason that if you are not able to take your innovative idea to the table with the speed of thought, right, you'll be actually missing out to the competition. So from that perspective, digital leaders will have to be married to technology, okay, and then be able to craft the innovations for the business upliftment. So as you know, right? I mean, this is kind of a buzzword. The digital trends are known to everyone now, right? So, AI, ML, right? Robotic process automation, right? Or cloud computing, cyber security, right? All those things are kind of something that are the digital trends that we are seeing in the market. Yeah. And the business imperatives actually have to marry that trend, right? So what it means now, you'll have to be have the ability to reach out to your customers or consumers through digital channel, right? You'll have to be able to ingest a lot of data, right, which now is known as big data, right? And you'll have to actually make out inferences from the data. Okay, so that is the other thing that are the business imperative. And if you really see, right, embracing digital transformation, right, through agility is something also becomes kind of a business imperative, because innovations now have to be very fast, right? So before competitors come up with another idea, you'll have to be able to actually tackle and reach the end point, right? So those are the business imperatives that I see, right, are very valuable for the industry now. So there are a lot of opportunities, right? I mean, technology is kind of giving an even play field, right? I mean, large corporates that have ruled the roost for a long time, it's not easy for them, right? Because if you really see, competition is coming out even from small players, or even a one-man army actually taking up and creating something of a mammoth, right? So technology is really enabling a lot of opportunities in how you actually engage with the customers. And what I mean by that is, you must have seen the kind of customized offers that you get nowadays, right? So even if you browse something, right, on, let's say, Amazon or Shopify, immediately you will be bombarded with those kind of emails. How does that happen? Okay, this all happens through the underlying technology, right? So this is something that is game changing in marketing, right? Similarly, sustainability, it was something that was actually happening at the lower end, right? People were just getting aware, reducing carbon footprint, but how do you bring that in action, right? So blockchain gives you that ability to be able to authenticate the kind of carbon footprint your company is making across the supply chain, right? So all these things are new opportunities, new ways to enhance your productivity and do it with sustainable actions. So a very key question, and this is not restricted just to I would say information technology industries. It is going across the board, right? Every industry, whether it is retail, or whether it is life science, right, media, everybody now will have to ingrained technology or digital skills within themselves, right? So you cannot completely depend on your partners to do the trick for you. And why? Because see, all the decision making that you do now, right? Technology has to enter the boardroom because now it has become an enabler, right? It is a business enabler, no more kind of a back office function, right? So you need data analytics, data scientists, right, as part of your roadmap decision makers, right? And those are the guys who will actually bring out your short-term and long-term strategies from a digital transformation perspective, right? You also require people who will be able to understand artificial intelligence better, machine learning better, and then come out with advances in how data can be analyzed, okay, how it can be inferred, and then how decisions making process can be enhanced and accelerated, right? So those kind of skill sets, which are not just technology related, but the impact that technology has on the business, right? That is the skill set that will be required in the corporates. So this is something of very key importance, right? When people are now actually going into digital transformation, a lot of folks have really experimented with the ideas. But what I would say, and what I would advise, right, is we have to be very clear of the program objectives at the start, right? So have a clear-cut benchmark, and then what are the KPIs that you'll measure, right? Because ROI is of the importance. So if you are going for a digital transformation engagement, your ROI has to be much higher, right? And how will you measure that? So that is the some key point when you are actually starting an engagement. Yeah. And the second point is something very important, right? People actually tinker a lot, on small solutions. Okay? So my advice is should actually look at the end-to-end processes, evolve the entire end-to-end process from a digital perspective. Just don't play around with small areas, because your stakeholders will somehow lose that traction right in between. And third, and very crucial, is the agility in implementation. Okay, and that's why you have heard, right, agile methodology is something which is gaining traction, right? So business wants chunks of information pretty soon, right? So if it is a long-term project, break it into viable products and deliver it at a higher frequency. So that is the agility that is required, because you cannot wait for 1 year, 2 year for your ROIs to flow in, right? Okay, so if we have seen clearly, right? I mean, there is a lot of focus nowadays, right, for academics to actually have an industry collaboration, right? Earlier that focus was missing, and I think IIM Bodh Gaya has taken a step forward in that direction, right? So the course that has been designed over here, right, for this digital MBA, this is completely in line with what the industry needs, right? And what I mean by that is basically the kind of course, the core subjects that we have, right? It is covering all the areas. So whether it is consulting, whether it is the idea of the technological trends, or whether it is about decision making or data analytics, right, based on those digital trends, all are part of the entire core subjects, right? And from the elective side also, then you have the chance of getting deeper, right, into each of those topics, right? So that way, the course that has been designed by IIM Bodh Gaya is completely in line with the industry requirements, and I think that makes it more palatable towards getting students trained directly into areas where they can apply their subject matter expertise directly into the corporates. Definitely. See, 2 months is something that first month goes in just understanding the corporate lifestyles, how things work, or maybe just trying to get a hands on the applications, right? And then just 1 month of an understanding, right, on how things work. I think it's a short period, right? 2 months is a short period. 4 months is actually very appropriate. And I think in 4 months, people can also lay hands on actual project deliverables in some capacity, right? So they get an end-to-end feel, right? How things work, what are the salient features of the application, and how the stakeholders in the client space can be managed. So I think it's better that you have a 4 month internship period.